I'm Julie Fayfam Balzer, and I'm here with my friend Ashley, and we are going to make some awesomely fabulous St. Patrick's Day nails using vinyl and the ScanNCut. So let's get started, yeah? We're going to use vinyl to do our nail decorations, and you could use any vinyl that you want. What I've done is I've taken some printable vinyl, and I've just gone ahead and printed a St. Patrick's Day series of patterns onto the vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and just load that into my machine. And then I'm going to go into pattern. And from the built-in set of shapes that are here, if you scroll through, you'll see that there's something that looks like a shamrock right here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that. Now it's quite large right now, and to fit on a nail, I need it to be super duper teeny. So I'm just going to hold down that negative button until it gets way down. I mean, you can get it really, really small, but I have found that for most nails, somewhere around like 0.25 is about the right size, except maybe if you had a little kid, then it would be even smaller than that. And you can make there be 3, 4, 5, 6, however many of them you want, and you're going to set it, and that's going to come up. But we don't want to have just shamrocks. We want to do some other stuff. So I'm going to add, how about the word lucky? I think that would be fun to have on your nail. So I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through here. And there it is, lucky. Okay, it's nice and chunky, but again, still too big. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. And remember what I said about that height issue. So you probably want it to be, you know, about maybe 0.2 or something like that, okay? And then you're going to, again, you can have more than one, whatever it is that you want, and you can see them starting to come up. So you would just keep adding different shapes and files. And what I'm going to do is I actually went ahead and created a bunch of these earlier, and you can see I have a bunch of these tiny little files here. So I'm just going to add them right now on there so I have all my pieces done. Then I'm going to go ahead and scan in that vinyl so that I can perfectly place all those little files exactly where I want them to be. So here it is on the screen, and I am going to need to zoom in to really see what I'm doing and pick my patterns. And I'm going to zoom in the 400% so that I can really see it. And now I can go ahead and I can say I want this shamrock to be out of this green. I want this one to be out of this stripe. This one's fine out of the check. And you know, you can really just customize what your different shapes are coming out of, where they're coming out of. You can let serendipity take over and let them just, you know, have a very zen attitude. It is what it is. Or you can really get specific about the area that you want. Now, if you had just obviously one plain color of vinyl, like just a green vinyl or something, then obviously you don't need to do any of this. But if you have something that has, you know, a bunch of different patterns where you can kind of pick and choose and move them around, then you can go ahead and do this. So I'm going to take a few moments and get everything organized. So once everything looks good and your files are all where you want them, you're just going to go ahead and say OK, and OK got it. Now I've already done a test cut, but if you hadn't, you would want to add a test cut at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and say OK and cut, and then I am ready to go ahead and press the start button. Now that we've finished cutting, I'm going to go ahead and unload the mat and take my printed vinyl off there. And you can see that it is cut. You can sort of mostly feel it, right? Right there you go. And so then Ashley and I are going to go ahead and weed it and get started. So to begin the weeding process, I'm going to kind of feel for where the end of the cuts are. And then I'm simply going to take a pair of scissors and cut away so I can reuse this printed vinyl for another project or another set of nails. Then I'm simply going to use my hook tool, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull away the excess vinyl. So I'm just going to keep on pulling this back slowly, making sure that all my little pieces are coming out, and if anything hasn't, I can just go ahead and poke it out, but I will slowly get all of my little vinyl pieces out. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my tweezers and put a little star right onto that nail. And then I think there's room for a second one, so I'm going to go ahead and grab another star and add it on there, just like so. And I can use the orange stick as I need to sort of just really smooth everything down. I'm going to go ahead now and starting with one of these nice little strips again, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it. If you have, for instance, this triangle, which extends past the edge of the nail, what you can do is you can take a simple file and you can just file at the top, and then what that will do is it will slowly start to create a crease right along the edge of the nail, and then you can see the vinyl has perfectly shaped right onto that nail, which is pretty neat. So I'm going to use a coat of clear nail polish on top of the vinyl and on Ashley's nails, and that is just going to keep everything sealed in nice and easy. And in fact, I would probably do 2 coats. So go through, do all your nails, and then go back and do a second coat just to make sure that it's really, really all nice and sealed in there. Whether you're doing 1 nail or a whole handful, I hope you'll give cutting vinyl with your ScanNCut to create nail art a try. One thing that we discovered is that it's a little bit easier if your nails are already painted. The vinyl just sticks a little bit more to your nail, but again, super fun and easy. For more tips, tricks, and tutorials, be sure to visit my blog at balzerdesigns.typepad.com, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget about the ScanNCut website at scanandcut.com.